meeting of the New York Empowerment Zone Corporation for today, Tuesday, October 24th. My name is Sonam Balani and I will serve as chair for this meeting. All meetings of the NYEZC directors are public meetings and members of the public are welcome to ask questions after each presentation. Those questions should be focused on the matters raised in the presentation itself. 2 minutes are allotted for the comments from individuals and up to 4 minutes to individuals representing organizations. Following a question and answer period, a motion will be made and a vote will be cast. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I would like to take a moment to welcome and introduce a few new faces around the table. The new designee representing the state is Holly White, ESD's EVP of Real Estate Development and Public and Private Partnerships. That is quite the title. Sitting in for Marlene Cintron today is BOEDC's new CFO, Duncan Still. And again, we have Anthony Jordan representing Congressman Serrano, Luis Miranda representing Congressman Escalante, and Director Ken Knuckles of UMass. I will now ask the directors if anyone has a potential conflict of interest with respect to any item on the agenda. If so, I will ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure of record at this time. You will then be sure that you may recuse yourself from any discussions or votes with regard to such an item. The first item on the agenda will be presented by Rudy Roosevelt of UMass. It is a grant of $862,500 to the Lower Manhattan Cultural Council to create and administer the UMass Arts Engagement Grant Initiative.
Good morning. Thank you, Sonam. Behind tab 2, this is a proposal to fund the launch of a new UMass Arts Engagement Grants program, with grants ranging in size from $1,000 to $10,000 to small organizations and artist-led projects in Upper Manhattan. The addition of this strategy to our portfolio is in response to 2 major changes in the environment. Artists can now produce and present their work without creating a nonprofit organization. They can use a fiscal sponsor and online crowdsourced funding platforms, which keeps their overhead to a minimum. And secondly, the resident cultural community has changed. Over 600 arts organizations and artists are based in Upper Manhattan, with only 50 having budgets larger than $100,000. We will continue our ongoing grant programs with minor modifications, but we need a program that can reach more deeply and widely to spur economic activity throughout the zone. The goal of this initiative is to enhance the diversity and frequency of cultural activity in Upper Manhattan by supporting small organizations and artist-led projects to develop audiences for their work. This initiative proposes a 33-month grant of $862,500 to the Lower Manhattan Cultural Council, or LMCC, to administer the program. Up to $250,000 will be awarded in 2018, and up to $400,000 will be awarded in 2019. LMCC will receive a total of $212,500 to set up and administrate the program over the life of the grant. The total project cost will be $900,000. UMass will retain control over critical elements of the grant process. We establish the grant guidelines and criteria for the awarding of the grants. The potential jury panelists must be approved by the Cultural Investment Fund Committee of our board, and the committee will also have the final approval of the grant awards themselves. LMCC is a strong partner. Both the state and city arts agencies use LMCC to re-grant funds to small organizations and artists. Over the last 3 years, 41% of their grantees have been based in Upper Manhattan. LMCC regularly provides professional development workshops in partnership with the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance. And LMCC, despite its name, has been the de facto borough arts council for Manhattan for decades. This initiative will also provide other benefits. The program will provide applicants and grantees with the experience in making grant requests, and they will be able to use this experience to secure support from other sources. And finally, this initiative will expand UMass's capacity without requiring UMass to expand its staff. I turn it over to the
Any questions or comments from the directors?
I just have a quick question. You said the time frame is 36 months?
Sorry?
The time frame for the grant program?
The grant would begin last July 1 and end in March 31 of 2020. The two grant periods are the calendar years. So the preceding 6 months are for setup and the final 3 months are the preparation of the report.
We spoke extensively about this on the phone a few weeks ago, so I asked many questions then. All right, anyone else? Yes, Steph?
What's the typical grant to cultural institutions?
From LMCC,
Yes.
we anticipate.
Right.
Their typical grant ranges around $2,500. It's not rare to hand out $10,000 grants, but they do. The jury takes it, tries very hard to get the money spread to a wide number of organizations, giving them sufficient funding, not just a little, but enough to do the project that they propose.
And is the structure already in place, sort of the?
Yeah, we're building it off of the platform that they had, so it's very familiar to the artists in Upper Manhattan who have applied to LMCC, and the same services that LMCC provides in helping them apply. They provide workshops before the applications are due, and when the applications are in, they'll actually work with applicants who have somehow misunderstood some part of the application. And then after the jury meets, all the applicants are invited to call back and find out why they didn't get funding if they didn't, or why they didn't get as much as they wanted. It's a very hands-on educational process for the artists.
The only thing, as I raised with you and I raised, we hope that a conversation is had with the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance that was created by UMass and did this for a very, very long period of time, so that they can become a partner and be solidified in the process, since it's a local institution in the community doing this.
My colleague's point is well taken. We're going to be having discussions around that. NOMA's a very important organization. We were proud to help them launch, I guess, about a decade ago or so more, and we're going to renew those conversations.
Any questions from the public? I will entertain a motion for
So moved.
approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The $862,000 $500 grant for LMCC for the UMass Arts Engagement Grant Program has been approved.
Right, behind.
The next item is a $120,000 grant to recapitalize the UMass Cultural Technical Assistance Fund.
All right, this behind tab 3. This fund has been in operation since 2005 and has made 36 grants to consultants to provide cultural organizations with expertise in fundraising, marketing, board development, strategic and business planning, and feasibility studies for capital projects. Grant amounts range from $20,000 to a maximum of $50,000. A contract is made directly with the selected consultant for a focused short-term consultancy. This consultancy results in a document that serves many purposes as the basis for fundraising in the private sector, to guide a capital development project, and as the foundation for a grant request to UMass to implement the findings of the plan. In the process, UMass gains a better understanding of the particular challenges that an organization faces. This facilitates the due diligence that we conduct for all of our potential grantees. We anticipate that emerging organizations in Upper Manhattan will specifically benefit through this program, as well as former grantees now facing new challenges.
Any questions or comments from the directors?
Just happy to see that this program continues to exist. It was something that was created when I was in the UMass board. That was very, very helpful for me. So happy that we can realize it.
Do you have a sense of this allocation will last?
Well, we've had it renewed 3 times over the years. We're expecting this to go 5 years. It just depends on the need, and we respond to that.
It's a rolling process?
So, yeah.
Any more questions from the directors? Any questions from the public? All right, I will entertain a motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
The $120,000 grant to recapitalize the cultural and technical assistance program has been approved. Our corporate secretary, Marion Phillips, will now present the NYEZC administrative budgets for fiscal years 2017 and 2018 for approval.
Good morning, everyone. If you look under tab 4 and tab 5, I'll present both budgets simultaneously. For fiscal year 17, the budget is $597,165, understanding that $270,000 is equally divided between the city and the state for their expenses. So it's really, you take the 597 and subtract 270 from that, and that's what the budget is. The reason that we are coming late, and this number here is an actual for what was spent, unlike a projected, which is 18. The reason we came late was because we had not had a full quorum of the directors, understanding that when the corporate action is taken, both Manhattan and Bronx directors must be present. So for fiscal year 17, the 597 is an actual number. Going into fiscal year 18, the number is 631, which is the projected number, 631,430 again. Understanding you have subtracted 270, which is 135,000 from the city, 135,000 from the state. And I asked any questions from the directors.
What does this cover?
So this covers staffing for the subsidiary in New York Empowerment Zone Corporation. It also covers the office equipment and the management of the program. So you would have, in this case, if you look at, I'm looking at tab 5, you have 4 salaries. You would have Sanan, if I remember correctly. I'm going to have the city, I'll say it that way. The city.
Does not fund my line, but yes, the city.
Right, the city. You would have under those salaries, portion of my salary, OHA and Destiny. So you have 4 salaries that are covered. And then you have the office staff, office itself, that is prorated throughout how the agency divides up the office space. Yes.
And the budget's grown significantly in for 2018 because staff is growing. Projected the staff will grow.
In some case, no. In some cases, the staff, we went from 3.5 to 4.
Okay.
That's one portion. The other part of it is there were 2 cost living increases from 17 to 18.
And the federal money, does that come, is that HUD money? What's the source of the federal money?
The short version is yes, it's HUD money. The long version is I think it came out of agriculture and
No, it came out of actually Health and Human Services.
Yeah, Health.
The initial grant came out of Health and Human Services, but it was administered through
Is there any thoughts that that could be subject to cuts, or is that
So that-
fairly standard?
So we drew down, when the program
Yeah.
expired, New York Empowerment Zone did an agreement to extend the program with the Bronx and Upper Manhattan. We extended the program and maintained all of our bylaws and guidelines from the initial program in 1994. We drew down all of the monies that had not been allocated. What we did was we allocated the programs, the funds through Upper Manhattan in 3 tranches, workforce, cultural, and business development. BOEDC drew down theirs under just business development, and then we created pools to work from there.
So
we
that
drew down
federal
all.
line is already there,
We drew
all
it's
that.
not allocated,
All
got it,
allocated.
okay,
We drew that down, the city portion has been paid, and the state portion has now been paid.
got it.
And so this unrelated to the budget. So some of UMES's funds are from loan repayments. All of initiatives being approved by these directors from BOEDC is all from loan repayments of previous projects.
Great. Any questions from the directors? Any more questions from the directors? Any questions from the public? Great. I will entertain a motion for approval.
it. So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The NYEZC administrative budgets for fiscal years 17 and 18 have been approved. Is there any other business? All right.
Just a question. Do we have to approve the August 14th minutes? Did we approve them and I missed it?
Yes, we should have approved them,
All right. I will.
and I apologize, that is our fault. Yes, you should approve them.
Okay. A motion to approve the August
So moved.
14th minutes.
So moved.
All in favor? Second. Any opposed? Second. Any opposed? Okay, the August 14th minutes of the NYEZC board meeting of the directors, have been approved. Any other business? All right. Thanks very much. This meeting of the directors of the New York Empowerment Zone Corporation is now closed.